Good morning. Welcome to EXSIN Live. It's Dave and Phil. We're going to talk about the cultivation loop today, right here.
Cultivation.
We're actually going to. It's really pretty. We're going to talk. We're going to focus on some sales training for business owners and for sales team members, because what we've realized is that a lot of you guys are just guessing.
Yeah,
I mean, I don't mean that in a mean way. We all struggle with it, but you don't have a proven plan or process to work through. We have a program called the Monday Reset, which can help you with that. If you're interested, let us know. But we're going to talk about a big piece of that, which is the cultivation loop, and walk you through that process. And this is based in biology. It is something that if you don't follow the steps, you will definitely break the relationship.
Yeah, and I think what's important, sales fixes everything, Dave. We've told this to people for a long time.
We need to be
sales fixes everything.
I gotta pay. We gotta
sales. Yeah, you do. You're a sweet little girl. So, but I mean, sales fixes most things in business, right? I mean, it sure helps.
Yep,
it sure helps. You got to deliver on the backside. You got to do all the right things, but without sales, you're dead. I mean, you're absolutely dead. And I think we put too much pressure. I think we put too much pressure on ourselves. If you're a sales professional, you should walk your day out with confidence, knowing that you have a process to follow, and have fun with it. I mean, that's a big part of it. You got to have fun with it.
And you've got to have a path, and you've got to look. Sales is a math problem. You've got to know what that math problem is and schedule activity to meet those requirements.
100%.
But once you do that, once you get that all stuff figured out, you know what you're scared of, and you know how you communicate, you can step into the cultivation loop. So I'm going to put this slide on the screen. We're going to walk you guys through it. Get a pretty picture today from us. Hope you enjoy that. Yeah. All right, there it is. So this is the cultivation.
You know, I take credit for all this stuff.
You did a great job, Phil.
Yeah, thanks.
Great job. the first thing, we've said this before, this is not new information. If you followed us, you've heard us talk about building your ideal client. Identify who your client is. Right? Well,
if you don't identify, if you don't have an ideal client, if you've never done that avatar, if you need the avatar to be able to do that, if you need help, reach out to us, and we can help you with that. But that's where it all begins. Well, 100% begins.
And I'm going to make this really simple for you. We're going to make this relational because this is based in biology.
Yeah.
When you were a young person.
Oh no.
Just trying to understand who you wanted to be and where you are.
Oh boy.
Did you walk into random places not knowing what you were looking for as far as the person you may want to date?
Oh, yes.
Not knowing what you were looking for?
No, you asked me.
You didn't know what you were looking for?
Well, I know what I wanted. But I didn't know what I was looking for.
You lowered your standards at some point. I understand that, but I get that. And as many of us made that poor decision, I'm a little bit flustered right now. When you go to meet somebody, you kind of know your people.
Right.
And you should know what you're looking for. You know a type, you know a hair color, you know an eye color, know a personality you're looking for. You know that. I mean, when you don't go out randomly just picking whoever. No. That's not who we are. Men, women, whoever. You don't do that. So why would you do that in sales?
Well, that's exactly right. And I think that the other thing is I've seen people that have worked their tail off cultivating somebody, and the people aren't even a candidate for what they're selling. I mean, they don't need it. They don't want it. I mean, but
they're not their ideal client.
That's what I'm saying. But if you don't know who that person is, as a salesman, or salesperson, you can waste so much time trying to close a deal with somebody who will never buy from you.
Well,
zero. They will never buy from you.
You're selling high end whole life policy.
Right.
If you're an insurance guy.
Yeah.
You don't go to the family making $35,000 a year.
Right. Yeah. You're not going to go talk to somebody about advanced tax strategies if
they don't pay taxes.
Yeah. If you don't owe any tax, you get a refund every year. Right. There's probably not a real good reason.
So first of all, let's just start with, let's niche down. We're not for everybody.
Right.
In spite of what you say, you're not for everybody.
That's hard for people to accept.
It is.
And it's partially is because every old school sales manager in the world always told everybody, who's your prospect? Everybody's a prospect. Well, no, they're not. They're just not. But that's been taught for years.
Coffees for closers.
Coffees for closers. That's
so
right.
let's get out of that. The old tactics are dead.
Yeah.
If you're going through an older sales training program that talks about, overcoming objections and all those things, if you're overcoming objections, you failed in the first part of the cultivation.
Features and benefits. Features and benefits.
Nobody buys features. The next thing you got to do is you got to make a connection. You got to engage with the person.
Yeah.
So let's go back to our scenario. We're dating. We go to church, and well, that's where you meet the right people.
Well, I thought we were being realistic.
I'm trying to be nice.
Okay, go ahead.
I mean, Craig maybe.
Well, no, I got you.
So we go to wherever it is. We go to a restaurant. We go wherever, and we see our ideal client.
Right.
And what's the next thing? You walk up to them and you introduce yourself in a polite,
Correct.
professional manner. You aren't rude.
I mean, some people did. Yeah.
You should.
Right.
If you're trying to connect the way they're going to connect with you. And I think this is really important. We have to step through the process.
Right.
So you don't walk in, and this happens all the time, especially on LinkedIn.
Oh,
hey, Dave, it looks like your resume is great. You want to buy a franchise? I don't even know you.
Well, it's not just that. Franchises are everywhere, but it's everything. I mean, if we went and looked at if I went and looked at my last, this will be interesting. Okay. Just bear with me on this. But if we went and looked at our last 5 LinkedIn messages that I received, all 5 of them are selling me different things and they all start the same way. You have a very impressive background.
Yep.
Okay. Come on.
Now,
I mean, it's
now I realize that I don't understand this process. I know there's some apps out there where you can date and it's different than what we're talking about.
Yeah.
If you want to create a long lasting relationship and a long-term client, this is what we're talking about.
Yeah.
So the next thing you got to do is ask them about themselves.
Yeah.
And how is your product?
Yep.
Don't walk in and tell them you're the high school, volleyball star or football player, lead gymnast or cheerleader. Walk in and go, hey, how you doing?
Yeah.
Tell me something about yourself.
Just have a conversation. This is where people screw up too. It takes longer to create a natural relationship. People where things are forced. We're after this, we're getting ready to go to a civic group that we go to every Wednesday,
Yep.
and the last couple times there's been an individual that's actively tried to close business during the meeting.
Oh God, yes.
Yeah, and while I appreciate,
and she's trying super hard.
While I appreciate their commitment to what they do, their desire, she has zero chance of anybody buying anything from her because of that.
She's always ABC, always be closing.
Always be closing, baby.
Yeah.
But you got to have a conversation, and people, if a conversation is authentic or if it's not, if somebody's trying to position you. I mean, everybody knows what it feels like, right? So don't be that person.
That's a fact.
As Bob Newhart says, stop it.
Stop it. Best video out there. So once you understand their pain points, so you're Dave and Phil and you're selling sales training.
Yep.
Because that's kind of what we're talking about today.
Yep.
We listen to your problems with sales. Joey's not meeting his quotas. Sally is just, she doesn't connect with people. I don't get it. So the next thing you do, number 4, is you empathize with them. You go, man, in the sales situation, man, I get it.
Yeah.
Having a sales team is tough. I mean, they're human beings. You never know what you're going to get. What if you had a process that helped them understand who they are and where they were struggling, and we could give them an activity plan that they could track weekly to go execute and close more deals? Well,
and I think for me, sales is as hard as you make it. Okay. And we've worked together so many years. I mean, how I sell, I know how you sell, but everybody sells. Let's not try to BS each other. But the reality is that people want to do business with people they know, like, and trust.
Yep.
The other reality is there is no special secret sauce out there that's going to take you from zero in sales to multi-millions of dollars in sales overnight. That doesn't exist.
If they said if I pay $10,000, I make $100,000. You send me the link.
I know. No, I sent Dave the link this week because we're always looking for these things. And this, there's a kid in a 3-piece suit that looks like he's 16 years old. Did you look at the picture?
Yeah, I have a suit. I've got a picture I'll show you later of me in a yellow suit like that when I was 5.
Yeah.
Bowl cut. Yeah.
Yeah. And I'm sitting there and I'm going, okay, Dave's going to get a kick out of this. But it's everybody's an expert. Everybody has a secret sauce. All you got to do is do these 2 things, and all your wildest dreams will come true. The truth is, it's hard work. It's consistency. It's not giving up when things don't go well, and they're not going to go well some days. but that's that consistency. Just continue to do the right things and you'll have success. There is the secret formula is you got to work. That's the secret formula.
You have to follow the process, right? So on step 4, we empathize. We told them we understand their pain, and here's a solution for you.
Yep.
To position. The next thing you do is you nurture them. You tell them how to get from where they are today to where they want to be.
Correct.
And the steps it's going to take, because it's not easy, right? So they have to understand there's a 3 to 5 step process they're going to have to take to get from where they are today to the happiness of more sales, and that's a nurture piece.
What did we have? I'm not going to identify the client, but we had the one client who had an experienced salesperson that said we came in and blew the place up. What did he say? He said, "What you know what I'm talking about?"
Oh yeah, no, yeah.
What was it?
No,
we frame it.
We blew the place up.
Blew the place up.
We stirred a lot of dust up.
Started everything up and blew it up.
Yeah.
Well, sometimes you got to blow things up. I mean, you do. Now this is a very long-term client, very happy. We've done multiple trainings with them, and really it became a part of their actual just day-to-day organization.
Good company.
Yeah, great company. But remember this too: if you're in sales and things aren't working, please stop doing the same thing every day because it's not working.
Well, and that's part of the path. So as you the cultivation loop needs to be done every time.
Yes.
When they say we're going to buy, that's when the loop changes.
Yep.
You can accelerate steps when they say they're going to buy, but until they say they're going to buy, you've got to work into the process. We're trying to build long-term clients that know, like, and trust us. And at the end of this, they become our champion. They're telling people how much they want to do business with us.
Yep. Yeah.
Why they should do business with us.
And I don't care how long, if you're in sales, you're going to lose clients. You're going to get clients that you don't deserve to lose. You're going to get clients that you don't deserve to get. You're going to lose. You're going to experience everything. And I think that's one of the toughest things for people to understand in sales is you don't control the outcomes. You control the activities to get to the outcomes.
Yep.
I mean, all you can do is to follow your process, do the right things, work hard. You don't control whether somebody has a buddy that's gotten into your business, so now they're going to give their buddy a chance. You don't control if a brother-in-law gets into a business and now they're going to give there's going to be things that are going to come up that have nothing to do with you. And I think in sales, we live and die with every success and with every failure.
Well, we take it personally.
You take it personally, and you cannot take this personally. You just can't.
So the next step, once you've provided them a path solution, you got to ask for their business. You got to convert them.
Yep.
At some point, you've done enough dancing and hanging out and having coffee to where you go, hey, look, man, it's been really cool. I think we can solve your problem. What's it going to take to do business with you?
But how many people don't do that? Don't ask for business.
Especially young salesmen.
Yeah, they think
salespeople.
No, you have to ask for the business. And again, I know none of this stuff we're talking about sexy. None of this is sexy stuff.
No.
It just works.
It's what you got to do. I want to acknowledge Sarah. Appreciate it, Sarah. Yes, people want to buy from you, not buy from you. They don't want to be sold to. That is a fact. And that's what this loop is all about, is how do you connect with them to position yourself as their guide through the process?
Sarah's a member of one of our Nebo boards, and very, very, just an outstanding human being, but also a great young entrepreneur.
Mosquito Joe, right?
Mosquito Authority.
Mosquito Authority. That's right.
She'll punch you the next time she sees you.
Sorry, Sarah, I deserve a punch in the mouth. It's Mosquito Authority here in Guthrie.
Yeah, but in Stillwater as well, all over. But I will tell you this: she's a natural salesperson because she focuses on. She's genuine. Yep. She focuses on real relationships with human beings, and people want to do business with people they know, like, and trust. I know it's not sexy. It just works.
Well, and here's the thing. So you've gotten them to step 6. You've converted. They said yes. Here's where the work starts.
Yep.
Because now you got to do step 7 and advance your abilities. You've got to give them the world-class service. You have to demonstrate to them that they made the best decision of their life and they're so happy they did it so they can get comfortable with you.
Yeah.
And that builds the trust.
Yeah, that's what builds trust. Once you get the sell, once you implement your process, whatever that may be, the solution you provide, now it's about doing it every day and providing great service.
That's a fact. And Matty there just said the best salesman ever said, he just looked like he wanted to help people.
Yeah.
That's pretty much how, and there's people, and Matt, you bring up a good point. Some of this is personality driven.
It is.
Because Phil is much more natural at selling and connecting with people than I am. And it's obvious when we're out. he can poop on somebody's shoe and they'll love him the next day. I do that and they're going to hate me for a year. So, but there's some people that are better at those, and you have to know yourself, right?
And it's also stylistic.
It is.
I mean, because your style will align much better with certain people.
Sure.
I mean, than mine. My style will annoy the hell out of some people, you know, and I get that. But that goes back to what I said earlier. You're not going to make everybody happy. That's why it's important you know who your ideal client is. Right down, in my opinion, we've got, I think, one of the greatest tools out there is to understand how to communicate with people, obviously. So if you understand the disc type, we love disc.
And how you're perceived by
and how you're perceived by people, how best to communicate with them is going to move the ball forward on you closing that.
No,
deal.
that's 100% correct. And the next one is step 8, service. Strengthen your relationship by exceptional service throughout the process. Now, look, let me explain something to you. This is not one and done sales we're talking about.
No.
This is turning your prospect into your ideal client and into your champion at step 11, right? We're trying to get you to a point where you have a cheerleading team out there that's referring you left and right to their friends.
Yeah. And you got to remember this too. When you're doing the service work, this is also where sometimes what people believe they're going to receive and what the expectation of what they are going to receive is going to be different than what your service really provides. So this is also where you need to prepare your brain for this, to where sometimes you're going to mutually figure out that it's not a good fit. And that's okay too.
Well, the other thing you're going to figure out is you're going to define other pain points they have.
Yeah, sure.
And this is the service part, is where you understand what other challenges do they have, pain points they have that you can solve for them.
Yeah.
Right.
But remember,
are out there.
But remember this, you can discover these, but if they're not ready to address them, it does not matter. I mean, we've had clients that we know darn good and well that, and they know that this is a pain point. If they're not ready to address it, doesn't matter. Okay. So again, that's something where you can't live and die with each, ebb and flow of the process.
And Matt, you bring up a good point. It is hard to get past step 2. And I call it the coffee conversation. I mean, this is a technique that I like. I'll invite somebody to coffee and we will have a conversation. And my goal is to have their cup full at the end of the discussion and mine's empty, because I'm just listening, asking questions.
Yep.
And really the way you get to step 3 is you invite them out to coffee and just start asking them about themselves and their business. Some people are really slow to open up to you and engage, but at some point the dam's going to break and they're going to unload all their problems on you.
Well, and Dave's seen me do this before. I'm very direct in my
very much so.
in my approach. And when I'm trying to go to 3, a lot of times if somebody's got a lot of barriers up, I'll just look at them and say, listen, I just want to find out where your pain is. I'll just tell them. Just tell me what's bothering you.
Yep.
I mean, it's okay.
That's a quicker path to yes.
Just let me know. Well, it works sometimes, but it doesn't work sometimes. But that's okay, because if you got somebody that's shut down and they're not willing to let you get to number 3, to get past number 2,
an S and a C is going to be slow to do that.
Correct. Yeah. So if you're dealing with that, it goes back to, listen, in life, this is why Dave and I have always said, you shoot what can kill you first, right? If somebody told me tomorrow that God forbid I had a terminal illness, I always love these people say, I would never try non-approved medical treatment. Well, hell, I will. If they tell me I got 3 months, you can put whatever you want in my body. I'm willing to give anything a shot at this point. I mean, it's not going to hurt anything to be direct. Be professional and direct. Don't be a jerk. Be professional and direct, right? But be direct. Being direct is perfectly okay. There's nothing wrong with that.
Matt, my favorite people in the world are the receptionist, because if you can turn them into your ally, you will get whatever you want out of that company. And the key to this is their job is gatekeeper.
Well, yeah.
I have been a gatekeeper for leaders in the world, and I understand that if the people that befriended me in that process were the ones that got access.
Well, and I think too, this is one of the slowest. This is what slows down more relationships than anything, are the gatekeepers of the world. But you can't rush that relationship. I mean, and and the truth is, there's some gatekeepers, I got a better chance of growing hair than ever getting past it.
Yep.
So you're going to have to figure out a way around the gatekeeper. I mean, you just are.
You can go through it or around it.
Yeah, but I mean, so there are those gatekeepers out there that doesn't matter. Jesus Christ himself could show up and ask for a meeting, and she's going to say no.
That's fact.
Or he's going to say no. And so it is what it is.
You got to work the process.
Yep.
Step 9 is to scale. So you've serviced them. You know what their pain points are. You talk to them about when they're ready to address those pain points, and then offer them opportunities to do more business with you.
Yeah.
in the scale phase. And then in 10 and 11 is really where they become your advocate.
Yep.
Once you get to 10 and 11 in the cultivation loop, you have won.
Well, yeah. And I think that, anytime you can get referrals and somebody's out there championing your cause, you've done, for whatever the reason, you've done something that's made them want to be your mouthpiece. They want to tell people. We've got, we joke about it, but we've got clients that we'll have people come out and say, did you guys buy EXSIN's type of business? We're like, no, because of all the social media posts or just how you talk about it. We'll share their stuff. But having advocates out there, having champions that are pushing your cause forward, that is the ultimate sign of respect in a business relationship. 100%. There's no doubt.
So I'm going to ask everybody that watches today a couple things. Number one, if you like the video today, like it. If you think this is good information that people can benefit from, please share the video. Yep. And if you know a company that needs help with their sales team, let them know we're out here. We're willing to help. And finally, if you are in the local area, actually, if you're any place and you own a service company with a sales team on it, you own a financial advisement firm with a sales team on
insurance
agencies, reach out to us. We have special expertise in those areas. We can help you grow your sales. We have done it time and time again. But be prepared for some fun and some excitement and some crazy things happening, because we make it challenging for your team so they do improve and get better.
Yeah, and I think that's the big thing. I mean, if you're not ready to really address it, don't call us.
Absolutely not.
We don't need the practice.
But if you want to go out, if you want to go out and grow sales and your team's ready to do the work and see the math behind it, the Monday Reset will help you. It has helped other clients, and we're excited to bring it to the world.
Yeah, absolutely.
So with that, this edition of EXSIN Live and the Cultivation Loop.
Oh boy.
We are out of here.